Hey, man, do you know what to expect for tonight?
No, not really, but I do see Dusty's wearing one of his fancy shirts again. So maybe it's related to the
fancy
color.
shirts.
Dusty wants to talk about fancy shirts.
Yeah!
Strap yourselves in, guys.
Back when kegs were like fucking $50.
Nice.
God.
When? Oh, those were not full size kegs that were $50. Those were party kegs.
Well, we had the party kegs were like $35.
Oh, really? I thought.
Yeah.
Man, maybe I was just giving y'all too much money.
Yeah, it was like $75.
$800. I will take one beer, please.
Perfect. This is a great business model.
Have you guys ever done a keg stand?
I'm too fat.
I
I never wanted to bother anyone with trying to hold me up in any capacity, so I'm like, don't worry about it, guys.
I was like, hey, get a couple of my fellow offensive linemen over here. Let's go. I'd done 50 fucking cake stands in my life. One time, a buddy of mine did a cake stand. He's a big bastard, and he was holding on to the sides, the trash can. And he was so big that he just crunched the fucking side.
Dude, I remember that it like folded like underneath of him in like sections too. It wasn't like one quick. It was like
So it kind of like, never mind.
it just kind of put his face into it a little bit.
One case, you can say it and we'll edit it.
Did it pancake down on national TV?
Oh my God. Yeah.
I'm just trying to get a visual. That's
and then it was
my only reference.
I was like Tower 7, and I fell like later. Like 35 minutes later, I was like, all right. I can't remember who that was to save my life. I couldn't think.
I
of it.
think I know who it was, but I don't want to say their name because I don't want to.
We'll do more editing.
I don't want to offend anybody. We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
But speaking of which, speaking of like picking up things, do you remember when we picked up Dan Stout's car?
Yes, I do.
So it was like, it was you, me, and like it was a bunch of football players. So it was like me and then like the entire offensive line essentially, and just I don't even remember why, but it was parked on the road of like back because we were sophomores, so it was when we had to park in the sophomore lot. Which for those of you that don't know, that's the Sunset Zoo parking lot, basically.
Back before it was all fancy. And
yeah.
shit.
Now I think they just like let anybody park anywhere.
Yeah,
And
it's all free for all.
Yeah, it's like fuck you guys. But he was parked on the road next to the parking lot, and we just picked it up and put it into the field next to it.
It was like it was a Japanese like vehicle, and it was one of those like. The mini, it was like a minivan, but it was even smaller than a minivan, but it was 4-door and it had a hatchback on the back, It looked like a mini van.
Was it one of those Eagle?
It might have been an Eagle.
I honestly don't know. I just remember it looking decent sized, but not really weighing decent sized.
It was crazy how light it was.
We didn't think we were gonna, and because we were just fucking around, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, "Oh god,
oh shit, oh shit!" And he was like, "Oh come on, guys!" I felt so bad for him because I know that he was like, "Okay, what the fuck." Like why?
He's probably got us all on a list somewhere.
I know.
Like Billy Madison style, putting on lipstick.
No problem. Yeah, maybe we can grab a beer sometime. Yeah, I'd like that. Man, am I glad I called that guy.
That's
shout out to Dan Stout. He was a good sport.
He's a good guy.
He was a good guy.
He was good people.
He was definitely good people.
His sister was my first girlfriend.
What was his sister's name again?
Kathleen.
Kathleen.
Was she as short as he was?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I just remember Dan being like super into wrestling. Like Dan loved wrestling, dude.
We've talked about it before, but he was the guy who wanted us to choke slam him.
Oh yeah,
into like anything, just whatever, concrete, a bed,
his car,
surprisingly soft.
Oh my god,
His 3-ply car.
It just folded like one of the broadcast table. You know how it just like falls apart? Oh, my God.
So, not talking about Sunday, how's everybody doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I had a very uneventful Sunday.
Yeah, nothing happened.
I made some food.
Sunday at 1:00 p.m., I walked into the Twilight Zone and blacked out. And I woke up, Sunday at like 9:42, and then went to bed. And because I was scared. Because I go, where'd the last 8 hours of my life go?
Right. I mean, what do you do?
I fell asleep. The girl's like, Dad. And I was like, don't.
It's safe in my dreams.
Dude, I actually had, like when you see somebody dream and they have like the beeping starts and it's like their alarm clock wakes them up. I had a dream. I can't even remember what the fuck I was doing, but for some reason I had to put orange juice in my fucking underwear. And transport it. So I'm walking with this orange juice in my drawers and I'm sloshing around.
Ooh.
I woke up and I had to piss. Like I've never had to pee.
Damn, Dan.
And it was the darkest piss he ever took.
It was orange.
It's basically orange juice.
Oh.
But
your
okay,
body knows.
all I will say is that that it was terrible.
Yeah.
It was absolutely terrible. It wasn't. Although at the time I was yelling strictly at Pat. It wasn't just his fault.
No.
He had the O-line just fucking disappeared on him. We were the villains of this game, clearly, and the heroes won. Whatever. But honestly, it's like we're gonna be back.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind that we'll be back.
So sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail. And in a game like football, when they don't even have to blitz and they get pressure, there's not much you can do.
Yeah.
Running, passing, whatever. I thought to a man, our defense, shout out to you, they played their balls off.
Yeah.
And they were on the field for fucking 700 plays. They played so hard, and they played with their guts and their fucking balls, and it was awesome. The Raiders introduced this idea of the Mahomes rules. I don't know if you've heard about the Mahomes rules say Pat doesn't play good if you pressure him and you beat him up. You shove him around and you kick him in. Every once in a while if you get a penalty, it's cool. You just got to rattle him.
Mm-hmm.
And the Mahomes rules is a play on the Jordan rules. Back in the mid-90s, early 90s, when Michael Jordan was with the Bulls, he was kind of wiry. He was kind of skinny guy. And when he played the Pistons in the playoffs, they beat him up. Every time he come to the lane, they'd knock him down. They called them the Jordan rules. You give him no free layups. If he comes to the lane, he's going down. We're going to hurt him. Mm-hmm. And so that whole playoffs, they talked about Jordan rules. And so Michael Jordan, for an entire offseason, just went fucking nuts and hired a personal trainer and learned about weightlifting and beefed up and came back the next season and he come down the lane and they try to knock him off and they just bounce off of him and he was like, yeah, motherfucker, that's because I'm the shit. And he was still dunking on everybody and doing whatever he wanted, but he was much stronger. I'll tell you this, Pat Mahomes is the king of the dad bod, but don't be surprised if in this offseason he gets it in his head that he needs to get in shape, really strong, and he comes out looking kind of fucking buff. Because that game there, not that I don't think it would have made it closer because he had no time.
Right.
But this guy is going to be thinking about this for the entire offseason.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the worst thing for the NFL, that Pat Mahomes is now more motivated and has an actual chip on his shoulder. Just fucking wait, dude. This guy's gonna light it up.
Yeah.
And if I'm wrong, then fuck it, man. Bring back Steve Bono.
I was gonna say, because at this point he has nothing else to play for other than records.
Yeah, no,
basically, and the three-peat would have been a fucking huge one to knock off.
And I think it's tough. I think it's tougher to motivate yourself when you're hey, we gotta get that record. But then I think we did see the origin story of a very bad man who is humiliated in front of a bunch of people and all these people are cheering against him and yeah, and he's beat to shit and he's okay. The only thing the guy's ever done is played fantastic football, raised a cute little family, plays by the rules all the time. He doesn't like get crazy. He's not like gambling, not drinking, getting DUIs and fucking killing people. Like he's doing the right thing. That's all he's ever done.
Yeah.
And people still hate him. And just wait, he's the kind of guy where if you played him in horse and you're like, hey, beat Pat Mahomes, he'd be like, no, we're going best of 3. You know what I mean? And you're like, oh fuck. And he like, I'm sure it sucks to play Monopoly with him because he's competitive.
Yeah.
Now he's got a massive chip on his shoulder.
Just like the entire time during the off season while he's in the weight room, he's just listening to Red Right Hand.
Crumpling up pictures of the fucking Philly. You know, they're going to be in trouble though. They have a lot of those guys are free agents, and this is what happens.
Yeah.
Every time a team shows up with a bunch of fucking studs and they beat the other guys, they're free agents, and so their agents are like, "Hey, man,
It's time to get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the hero of the Super Bowl here." You know what I mean?
And other teams
Yeah.
are like, we really need a running back.
Yeah. Or like
When Saquon's contract,
we really need a defensive lineman. We'll overpay for this guy, you know. And it's like a lot of the Eagles thing is there's sum isn't as great as the parts aren't as great as their sum or whatever. However you say that, like.
Yeah.
Together as a unit, they are so strong. But if you take one guy out and put him on another team, it's not like that team totally is like the greatest ever. You know, like they're just that defense works so good, but they're not going to be able to afford everybody because they have guys like Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
You can't pay a defensive lineman top dollar. So I don't expect them back, actually. Everybody's like, there's a new dynasty.
No.
Come on.
No thanks, pal.
So anyway,
And you know what is the other thing that I liked about the huge embarrassing failure that was Sunday night? I didn't even hurt that bad because we're so spoiled as fans that like it was like, all right.
I'll be 100% honest. I watched the first half. Towards the end of it, I was getting pretty upset. So I was like, you know what? I don't really need this. So I turned it off. And I checked in during the second half every once in a while. I was like, we're still getting our ass kicked. Cool. It's even worse now. Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, we're starting to climb back a little bit, and it's over. Okay, cool.
God.
Like, that was pretty much my night.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't like, no! I was like, that sucks.
Yeah,
All right,
we made flaming hot Cheetos mozzarella sticks, and
what?
during the first mozzarella stick, I'm like, motherfucker, of course that wouldn't that be like I'm like getting mad. And by the second mozzarella stick, I had already resolved to like we're gonna lose. This mozzarella stick is really good.
I'll let him get his thought, but I can tell you exactly when I thought we were gonna lose.
It was 31-0, like real quick. You know, and it was like, okay, well, nobody comes back from 31-0.
Mine is early. I wasn't like giving up hope completely, but I was like, yeah, we're probably not going to win this. It was the sequence of sack, interception.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like,
that was just-
yep, that's about it right there.
Rattled as fuck.
Hats off to them. They played great. Their defensive line just dominated, man.
They did.
They really
Yeah.
dominated.
Yeah.
And
And part of Philly got destroyed because of
they
it.
did. They did.
Yeah, that's congratulations, guys.
You rushed 4.
That would have happened if they lost, though.
For
too.
sure.
Right? I don't know which one would have been worse, to be honest with you. I really don't.
Yeah, you rushed 4 and dropped 7, and bad things happen. So whatever.
Yeah.
Flamin' Hot Cheeto mozzarella sticks.
Where are
Yeah.
ours?
Well, they're a big pain in the ass to make.
Oh!
So they are on store shelves. I would have drank the grease after we fried those things.
Ah, that's
Like,
gross.
they were that good. Jesus.
Oh,
No,
so-
you just get the puffs, the Flamin' Hot Puffs, grind them up in a food processor or something, and then just dredge them in flour, egg, and that, and fry them. Man,
Oh,
That does sound pretty awesome.
that
not gonna
sounds
lie.
really
They were-
fucking
they were-
good.
I don't even really like spicy food all that much either, but
they were,
that
they,
still
dude,
sounds
they
pretty
were
cool.
solid.
Damn.
So besides the great food and the shitty football, how else has your week been, Dan?
That's kind of been the defining moments so
Yeah.
far.
What about you, jackass?
Much like Isaiah Pacheco, I haven't done much this week. Yeah, just kind of going with the flow. I feel I'm really not looking forward to this fucking second round.
Right, I'm not.
Snow.
I'll do you one better. I haven't done shit. I'm Harrison Butker.
Hey!
I haven't done nothing.
But you've said kind of controversial.
No,
things.
no, I don't want to. I don't want to.
Are you getting dragged on social media anywhere? Or?
Yes.
If I ever do, it'll be for a good reason, not a shitty one, like being super misogynistic and shit. Like I'm gonna go out and blaze a glory. It's gonna be some bad shit. So tonight, one thing I wanted to get off my chest was, hey, you know what movie sucks?
Yeah.
I can't fucking remember the exact title. I want to say it's MacGyver. It's not MacGyver, but I think it's The Guyver, or just Guyver. It's this low-budget 80s sci-fi movie. The original one has like J.J. Walker in it, like damn near doing like Dynamite and kind of shit. But just if you ever get the chance, watch it just to laugh at it. But that's really the only enjoyment you're going to get out of it.
So they couldn't afford the Mick at the beginning, or
no?
Yeah.
I guess it's based off of this like it's either a Japanese anime or a manga.
Okay.
But it's supposed to be like all like futuristic and cool and like this mech suit and all this crazy shit, and it's 80s, so it doesn't really work very well.
Damn.
But what you should watch instead is Guyver 2.
Ooh.
Okay.
Because that's actually a lot better, and it's fucking a hard R rating.
Nice.
It's weird when the sequel's
I
better.
say it's hard to make a sequel better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny that you mentioned that.
Oh,
Oh.
shit.
So tonight's topic is exactly that. I want to talk about sequels that are better than the original.
Oh, cool.
Oh, we are gonna start some shit with this one, Dust.
So I've got a list here of some examples, but I want you guys to do input too. There's a couple that are on here that I know each one of you is going to mention, so we're just going to hold off on you offering your own titles until a little bit later. But
Fine.
one of yours we're going to get to right away. I know for a fact it's one of yours. But it doesn't have to be a number 2 or a part 2 or anything. It can be a part 7. It can be a part 12. Doesn't matter. Just any number in the franchise. And so I'm not getting too specific on it. It can be animated. It can be live action. Whatever. I've just got a list here of like some of the greatest movie sequels of all time. And I thought we could go over them and decide whether or not they actually are better than the original.
All right.
Ooh.
Yes.
So I'm really going to need your guys' input.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park 2: The Lost World.
Yep. I like
No, I'm not serious.
That's not on here for some reason.
Weird. Man, that list is incomplete.
So we're going to start with a Dan movie that I know for a fact would be on his list, and that's Terminator 2: Judgment Day.
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
Now, I love the original.
For sure.
I absolutely love the original. The sequel is without a doubt better.
Absolutely.
With this one, there's not even a question.
No, there's much less sweat in the second one. The first one, they're just fucking sweating, man.
I mean, that was L.A. in the early 80s.
Yeah.
Just everybody was just kind of gross.
Just grody, dude. Kind of looked like haggard. And like, you've been wearing that jacket for far too long. It is April.
Well, and Sarah Connor banged Kyle Reese after he stole a homeless man's pants with no underwear.
That is
And no
very
shower.
true. He looked like in that
Oh.
movie, and nothing against Michael Biehn because I mean he's fucking awesome.
He is
but
great.
he looked like I could smell him.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And that's not great
No.
when you're
no.
trying to fuck Sarah Connor.
How hard up for a man was she? You know? Jesus.
Well, she is crazy, so you know what I mean.
In the second one, absolutely.
Damn, dude. When she fucking that video that they show of her, like,
Oh yeah, where the interview.
get it? Oh my god, dude, she's crazy.
Dude, so in between Terminator and Terminator 2, apparently she smoked like 20 packs of cigarettes a day.
Yeah.
If you know, like her voice
Yeah.
got, and even in later movies, like she came up for another Terminator. Have you seen
The third one. She's on a voice recording. In that.
Well, yeah, that is true, and it is her,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And they also it was her in Terminator Salvation too on the recording.
Yes.
Which was weird.
What a good sport.
I know, it's like but the movie that she showed up in, Salvation.
Oh, Dark Fate.
Or Dark Fate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you like that one at all?
That's the only one I actually haven't seen.
It's not bad.
I turned it off like right after the beginning. I was like, no.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no spoilers here, but it's pretty jarring.
I really didn't. I stopped caring after 2, but then I've gone back and watched them. Like the Terminator with the blonde gal.
3.
That's Rise of the Machines.
Okay, I was like,
she's awesome. She plays an awesome Terminator.
She did a great job. She's in the bathroom, like beating, like the Arnold's ass or whatever, and she's like walks by, and she's like walking, and she walks by a mirror and kind of looks at herself in the mirror, and you're like, that was a nice little touch, and then like just not only that, like her acting was fantastic, but the movies are fun. They're kind of fun to watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're wild and like, oh my god, give me a break. But they're kind of fun. And then the one with Christian Bale, like
Salvation, yeah.
That takes itself a little too serious. It insists upon itself, but that's also kind of a rad movie, man. Like when
it's got its moments
when
for sure.
you watch it, like if you can tell what the fuck's going on half the time, it's so dark. But that guy can carry a fucking movie, man.
I can't remember what his name is, but it's the guy for Sam Worthington.
Sam Worthington,
yeah.
That's the guy from like Avatar.
Yeah. Those two, that was fan-fucking-tastic, and I haven't seen the one where they like gunned down John Connor. Like
that's Dark Fate.
God.
Well, there goes the
I
spoiler.
was gonna
Oh
say,
shit!
That's literally. It's like oh god.
Yeah, but the movie's been out for 10 years, hasn't it?
It's been out for a while,
Yeah,
so yeah,
fucking
it's not a big
spoiler
deal.
alert.
And even that one's not terrible, but it's not fantastic either.
Yeah.
But Terminator 2, on the other hand, is fantastic.
That one, it improved in like every single aspect.
And Robert Patrick, dude, I don't think people give him enough credit because like he's amazing in that movie, and he's been a badass in a bunch of movies. Dude, he even plays an awesome racist in The Peacemaker, which I didn't think I'd ever fucking say that because it's not awesome that he's a racist. Let me clarify that.
No.
He's just amazing in that role, and like you fucking hate him.
So he was on The Sopranos as David
Oh
Scatino,
my god, yes,
like,
he's
gambler.
amazing in that.
And it's like you see him as a T-1000, right? And he's
Yep.
like unstoppable and this total badass, but he plays a degenerate gambler like to a fucking T.
Like it's pathetic.
It's pathetic, and he nails it. But T2 is just full of so many memorable, lines.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
because you told me to. Why'd you do that? I love that. And then like he'll live. When they're like, I love that part where he's like, have you seen this boy? And his buddy sees a picture. He's like, nah, man, I haven't seen him. I'm like, that is a cool
That's
friend,
a real
dude.
one.
That's a real one.
Budnick from
Budnick.
Salute Your
Yeah,
Shorts.
yeah, that's right.
I was like, fuck yeah,
Nah, I
staying
haven't
strong.
seen him, man.
She's not my mother, Todd.
All right, so now moving on to one that's for sure going to be on David's list.
Wait.
Oh, okay.
In T2, when they're having the conversation on the phone,
Yeah.
and Arnie he's like, I think it might be a setup. When he does the Wolfie thing, do you? I'm so sad to
Well,
admit
Wolfie's
this.
fine, honey.
It took me till I was 27 before I figured out what the hell was going on. For so long, I didn't know what that. I was like, what the fuck is I don't understand. What does this mean? And then I was like, oh, yes, because they would be like, what do you mean? Who's Wolfie? You fucking moron. I felt so poorly of myself.
Don't beat yourself up.
Thank
That's
you.
our job.
Well, T-1000 would have got Dave.
Yeah,
Pretty easily,
He'd have
too.
mowed my
I mean, he would have got
ass
me too,
down.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I don't hold any illusions. I would have gotten
He would have got me with his fucking sharp hand arm sword.
Knife hands.
Yeah.
All right, so now to one that's on David's list. The Godfather Part 2.
Yeah.
One of the greatest sequels of all time. And little trivia for you, not the first movie to ever use the number 2 in its title, but the first American movie to ever use Part 2.
Really?
I was gonna actually a little fun fact. The first Part 2 ever was actually an Akira Kurosawa film called Sanshiro Sagata Part 2.
Of course.
Yes.
Another really good sequel.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
It outdid the first one in every aspect.
But The Godfather Part 2 was the first American movie to use Part 2. So
yeah.
Because I wanted to get this one out of the way earlier because I'm pretty sure you haven't seen it.
I have not. You're right.
So I wanted to let you gush on it for a minute.
Oh, my God. So Al Pacino and Robert De Niro in the same movie, but they're not doing the same
Never
thing.
in the same scene until Heat.
Right. And Heat's another
Heat's
fucking
amazing.
banger.
Yeah, it is.
I have seen that one.
Oh, my God. What a movie,
But
dude.
not a sequel, so get on track.
Truth. The Godfather 2, like, Robert De Niro just murders. And even before then... like,
and he acts really well, too.
he...
Sorry.
This one. Fuck, when they're coming over and they're at Ellis Island, and he's like... The guard's like it's Vito, the Corleone, the Godfather, as a little boy. And he has like tuberculosis or something. He's got something. And he comes to Ellis Island and he goes, "What's your name?" And he doesn't speak English, so he's like, you know? And they're like, the guy, one of the like guards is Italian. So he's like, "What's your name?" He's like, Vito Andolini. And he's like, "From Corleone." And they're like, "Okay, Vito Corleone." And it's like, damn, how many people did that happen to?
Yeah.
Where they had one name and the guy was like, Corleone sounds good to me, buddy.
Yeah.
And just signed him up. And that's how his name is Andolini, his last name. But they just switched it to Corleone, where he's actually from. That's where they were from.
I think they touch on that in Mafia.
Do they really?
Because they do that scene, like that, their version of that scene, and then they can't come up with the name, so they look at the inside of his jacket. And it's Armani.
I totally forgot about it. Dan, your Mafia movie knowledge is based solely on Mafia.
I was going to say, I might actually be able to follow along.
I
just
think
because
you
of
can
just
still
how much I've
do
watched
this.
Mafia.
Yeah. but then afterwards, like, just Robert De Niro, like, a young Vito Corleone out here just, like, crushing people. And then Al Pacino, like, it always looks like he's just about to fucking flip out, you know, but like he's really controlled, but underneath he looks like he's boiling. And that shit is awesome. Number 2, I could watch that every day, I think. I don't think I'd ever get tired of it.
And considering it's like a fucking 3.5 hour long movie.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's the first sequel to ever win Best Picture.
Really?
Or to ever be nominated for Best Picture. I don't think it won. I think it was nominated. But the first sequel to ever be nominated for it.
Good
Nice.
pull.
But yeah, just it was, especially with us growing up, it was before Heat came out, it was the only chance you ever got to see those two in the same movie, even though they didn't interact at all.
Yeah.
So just for that fact alone, it was a huge fucking movie.
What a wasted opportunity, man.
No doubt.
They could have made so many buddy cop movies with those guys.
A little bit.
I don't have a Pacino impression. I can. I can just yell. I mean, but especially like he was talking about, just getting to see, because it's one of the weirdest timelines of a movie, because it is a sequel and it's also a prequel.
Yeah.
Because it takes place, I think it's like 5 years after the original or so. Like so Michael Corleone's kind of like taking charge of the family and everything. But then it also sandwiches in this whole origin story of Vito. And it goes back and forth between the two seamlessly.
It's fucking beautiful.
And
man.
just the fact that they could pull that off and make it make sense is amazing in and of itself. But then the fact that both of those stories by themselves are extremely entertaining. I mean, it's everything that a sequel should be.
You know what it's like? It's like a flaming hot Cheeto mozzarella stick.
Yeah.
Both are great, but if you seamlessly and beautifully and thoughtfully combine the two, you have The Godfather 2.
Nice.
What are you combining the flaming hot Cheeto
with the mozzarella?
With mozzarella sticks.
Yeah.
Okay, I get the analogy now.
It sounded like it was also not only a sequel, but like 2 movies and like a 2-for-1.
It was
Pretty
a
much.
2-for-1.
So they could have called it The Godfather buy
for one.
Yeah.
The Godfather Part 2 and .5.
The Godfather BYOB
Yeah.
or what is it? BOGO?
BOGO, yeah. Godfather
BOGO.
BYOB.
If you want,
It's not a fucking System of a Down song.
if you want,
Bring your own sequel.
you can. Yeah, BYOS.
All right, so moving on next to another one that I know will be on your list.
D baby.
How did you know?
So,
And it's D Baby 2,
As they-
Super Babies.
oh, baby genius.
I thought it was Look Who-
Oh,
I-
fuck
wait,
yeah.
Super Babies 2, Baby Geniuses.
Oh.
Look who's talking to.
I fucking
Although,
love that movie.
actually, that is pretty good.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Although I don't know if it's better than the original. No, in this case, I'm talking, of course, about The Empire Strikes Back. Yeah,
Yep,
even some
that's,
PTSD or like flashbacks to your metalcore
No, man,
days.
that's just like out of how many fucking Star Wars movies are there now?
There are a lot.
9.
There's
Oh,
nine
no.
main saga movies, but there's like
10.
the
If you, do you count the animated
solo
one?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like all the
Solo.
media and the shows and everything.
At least 12 feature-length movies.
Still my favorite piece of
Yeah.
Star Wars media. So
I have no like. I got into my nephew Tyrus is a pretty big Star Wars fan. He was a lot when he was growing up, and the last time I went down to go visit them years ago, we got into a discussion about what is our like list, a rank of all the movies, and it changes. It absolutely changes for everything but number one.
Yeah.
But number one never changes, and it's always Empire.
Yeah, boy.
Like that. That's just fucking peak cinema, because it's like, and it's one of the. It's weird because it's a sequel that everybody that is like a Star Wars fan fucking loves, but if you just watch it by itself, it's so fucked up.
yeah.
It's like, hey, everybody, like we're on a nice planet, and Luke got captured, and then all of a sudden he's training, and now he's gonna go fight Darth Vader. Oh yeah, that's his dad. Bye.
Like without the did he just kiss his sister?
Yeah, wait a minute. You start adding shit together, you're like, this is fucking weird.
I've
man.
never thought about it that way because with no context, that shit is wild.
Right? That'd be a wild ride.
It's a fever dream
I
right
did
there,
not
yeah.
know that. It is kind of like they don't really make sequels like that where they just kind of go, here you go. You know what I mean? Like
It's like shit's going on, and we're gonna drop you in right there. Go.
But then
Street
again,
View on Google, you're just in there now.
that is kind of like the nature of Star Wars to begin with is like that it picked up at 4, you know?
Yeah.
For
And
sure.
I actually just listened to Mark Hamill in an interview earlier today, talking about like he was asking, there was like, why are we doing part 4? This is the first one. He's like, well, I just wanted to feel like one of those serials, you know, where you just kind of come in the middle of it, not knowing what's going on. I was like, well, I guess that's
Perfect.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it works.
no
Yeah,
shit.
'cause I have no idea.
No shit.
Yeah, you grab anyone who's never seen Star Wars and make them just watch that one,
Yeah.
they're gonna be like, who the fuck was that guy? Like,
And it does kind of open up, I guess, with just like shit going on. With,
Yeah.
So huh.
Whoa.
Whoa. That was dead on. Who are you, Ben Burt?
Are you Ben Burt's kid?
who was the best little Wally?
Oh.
Dude, that
did-
is pretty. He did all the sound design for Wally too.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
And he did the voice of Wally. Like it was like distorted heavily, but that's him going Wally.
Oh, really?
So
Huh.
fun fact.
Dude, I love the little cleaner in Wally. The little cleaner robot.
Yes.
That fucker is
Mo.
hilarious.
When he asked him his name and he goes, Mow.
I don't like when Wally will track dirt in somewhere. He's like, do you keep up with the animation? The
No.
animated. So, but I don't want you to get on your fucking high horse because I know
I can't
that-
get on a high horse. I am fucking short.
I know
need a
you
stepladder.
go online and you just read about it, and so you know about it, right? Like like you're like, okay, that's canon or not, but you know what they're talking about, right?
Wait, in Wally or Star Wars?
In Star Wars,
You know all the Wally, like,
Dude.
is Wally canon or is it
Wally
from the
is-
legends or
we're coming up on Wally will be real in fucking 50 years.
Oh man, we are on.
and I'm waiting for it.
Dude,
I
we're
want to
fast tracking
I
at this
want to
point.
cruise around in a chair all day. That'd be fucking awesome, man.
No, but yeah, I am like aware of some of the stuff, but not.
Like the Attack
Not
of the Clones.
Yeah,
stuff.
like I know that it exists.
Yeah.
but
and with the Lego. The
no,
Star
that
Wars
one is
Lego.
non-canon in my head.
Uh-oh.
Fuck that. Can't
Here
just
we go.
piece it together that way.
Comment section's gonna fucking blow up.
Everybody tells me that I need to watch Rebels. I've never watched it, but everybody that's watched it says it's fucking amazing. It's an animated show, but it's supposed to be really good.
And there is one Star Wars show that I think it has an appeal to like a more mature audience that's like not into Star Wars or whatever, but Andor. That series,
I still haven't watched that yet, but I heard amazing things about it.
It's like spying and politics and intrigue and like it's
Whoa.
And there's no wizards either, you know, like there's no laser swords.
Yeah.
I love The Mandalorian. Like I was watching every fucking week for The Mandalorian for sure. But I would still say out of all of the cool shit that we've just been talking about, including Wally, Empire's still better.
Yeah, that shit goes hard. Man.
But can I also just tack on I'm completely in the fucking minority on this one. If we're breaking the trilogies down into like their own separate things,
right?
One of my favorite sequels is The Last Jedi. I thought out of the new ones, that one just like
I would join you in that minority because I'm one of the I was like, why is everybody hating on this shit? Like the fact they do light speed through a fucking ship,
that was cool. Yeah.
That was awesome. Like they're like, oh well, how could they fucking? It's like because nobody thought of it before.
Yeah,
duh.
And
that's literally your answer right there. Why did they do that before? Because no one thought of it. No one was like, I'm gonna kill myself this way.
This is really desperate. What do I do? What do I do? But like, I would have loved to see Luke do CGI backflips and murder 1,000 people as much as the next guy.
Right.
But that just wouldn't have been his character. And plus, it's like this whole idea that once you do one good thing, that you never fuck up again after that.
Yeah.
Is so unrealistic. And I was like, no, this is real shit.
Like I said, I would join you in that. I like The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Rise of Skywalker,
somehow
we didn't.
Palpatine has returned. That's like all you have to say about that one.
Don't get me wrong. Palpatine is an amazing villain. We didn't talk about him during our villains episode, which we probably should have. But he's an amazing villain. There's no reason he should have been in that movie.
No.
Whatsoever.
He didn't even drop one of those.
God, he was fucking terrifying.
All right. So moving on in our sequels journey, I think I'm going to try to find one that David might like here.
Nope.
How about The Bourne Supremacy?
Ooh.
First of all, I never saw the third one, the Jeremy Renner one.
I think that's the fourth
Is
one.
it the fourth? See,
but I actually liked it. I've only seen it once. I don't remember anything from it at all, but I do remember enjoying it, just like as a generic action movie.
Yeah. I really didn't want to like the Bourne Identity, and then I saw it and was like, and so,
God damn it, it's good.
I know. Number one, I think both, like 1 and 2 kind of stack up. Like, I feel like they're just perfect together.
Yeah.
Like, like you can watch both and not be like, one's way better than the other or two's better than one. I think they're both pretty solid. Like Matt Damon, he fucking kicks some serious.
I like
ass.
Matt Damon.
Yeah.
He has a good sense of humor about himself.
Yeah.
And I can always get on board with people like that. Like, I hate to fucking admit it because I don't want to admit it, but Ryan Seacrest actually does have a very good sense of humor about himself. Like, he's made Joe. He's like, I know it's ridiculous that I am on every fucking TV show.
Yeah.
So I can't hate him. I really can't. I'm like, Wheel of Fortune now too? God damn,
That
dude.
boy's good.
Save some TV for the rest of
No
us.
shit.
Have you ever seen any of the Bourne movies?
I have seen, I think, the first two. I don't really remember like a lot of details, but I remember fucking digging the hell out of it, and I really appreciate that they kind of shifted what a spy movie was like. Because you had like all the old James Bond, which are awesome. Don't get me wrong, I love all those, but like near the end of Pierce Brosnan's run, it was getting a little weird.
It got weird.
And
It got weird.
I like that the Bourne movies kind of like brought the gritty fucking just brought it back down.
Yes.
And, and then they go make a Casino Royale and like holy shit. So
Dude, that was another thing. Like, they, at the time when they made old boy James Bond, it was like, oh, that was a bad pick. But he has murdered the fucking role,
he did
man.
a good job. Yeah.
I'll be the first to admit, as much of a movie fan as I am, I'm not a huge James Bond fan.
Yeah.
I'll watch them if they're on, maybe if there's nothing else on or whatever, but I'm not going to go seek them out or anything like that. Like, But I will admit that the newer ones with Daniel Craig,
man,
those have been fucking intense.
They're solid, man.
Yeah.
That boy's bad.
Yeah.
But speaking of, if you have 3.5 hours to kill, I'm always like, those and Mission Impossible. Why do they have to be 3 hours long? I don't get it, man.
That's another series that I have not really gotten my teeth into. I think it's supposed to be ending with this next one. Whatever.
I can't keep them straight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't. All I know is Mission Impossible 1, it was crazy when they killed Emilio Estevez. Like, immediately.
Going up in the elevator.
Yeah,
thing
that shit was
him right in the
nuts.
face.
I know. That shit was nuts. And so I'm like, I'm such a consumer. I'm such an American consumer. I'll watch that mission. I'll watch Mission Impossible. Like, you bring it out, I'll watch it. But I don't remember them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember, like, hanging off a cliff. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that was 2. You know, and Born Identity, the one thing I remember, like, vividly is, like, him sniping somebody from, like, a little hill. And then another scene where he goes into an apartment and there's another guy who's come to kill him. And they're, like, walking down the hallway at each other, and I was like, God, that's fucking man, that's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Like, there's none of this, like, hey, you know, they're just like, I'm like, God damn, this is fucking gritty. What the hell's going on? But yeah, I liked them.
All right. So moving from action to maybe more of a
romance.
No.
Okay.
But because there aren't any on this list, but now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Notebook.
Yeah, I can't
Weddings
think of
and
one.
2 funerals.
Hey, The Notebook 2.
My big fat Greek reunion or whatever. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. It's just the first Love sequel I could think of.
Love, I really actually mean it.
Actually. Let's move more to it. It does have action, but more of a crime thriller, which just so happens to also be a comic book movie. The Dark Knight. Probably one of the best comic book movies of all time. One of the best Jokers that we've ever seen, even though everybody questioned it before when it was announced. Which they do that with. People just need to stop with the whole, like, I don't think he's going to be right for it. Because it's like, just let him fucking try.
Yeah.
Just let her do her thing, or let him give it a shot and see what happens. If they fuck up, they won't get hired again. But, like, Heath Ledger's Joker was fucking amazing.
Man, that was something else.
I feel like I feel really fortunate to have been someone who saw it in the theater. Like, you know what I mean? I really feel like it was like the movie itself. It's kind of gotten like overdone now, but like it's a serious deal. Like, that's a fucking masterpiece. That movie is fucking insane, and that shit is awesome.
That whole year that it came out, it was dominated by everything. I mean, and not to like kind of lump it in with like, you know, everybody caring about the movie, but the fact that Heath Ledger passed away had a lot to do with it too.
Best hype man.
Jesus Christ.
Dead guy.
He saw what Brandon Lee did for The Crow.
And was like, I can top that.
I got that shit.
I'll do it in Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen's apartment building.
Jesus Christ.
What do you think about that, guys? And you're like, did you have to do it with like that? Like, did you have to do that, dude? That's weird. And that brings up another point. Do like rich people, like, is there like an app? And you go, hey, I'm going to be in New York, and I don't want to get a hotel. Do you other rich people have a apartment?
Yeah, who has a house I can live in for 3 months?
And they're like, because that's what happens with, like, you go to like a Yankees game, and like Jerry Seinfeld owns a suite at the Yankees game. You can like rent it if you're famous. You can like rent it from him if he's not going to be at the game. Lady Gaga got in trouble because she got drunk at a Yankees game in Jerry Seinfeld's suite and like took her shirt off and shit. And, and Jerry Seinfeld was like, what the fuck? So it's like, is that the way it is with apartments and shit too? Like, oh yeah, sure, go ahead, just go party in my apartment.
Lady Gaga, if you ever want to come and hang out at my house, I got no problem with
Yeah, you're like, God dang it, why'd you do that?
it.
Why'd you do that? Oh,
I can't remember who the fuck it was, but I was listening to some interview with somebody. It was when they were like an up and coming actor. They got put up in fucking an apartment that used to be Taylor Swift's or whatever. And yes, so like that shit happened.
That's a real thing.
Yeah,
That's
it's a real
crazy.
thing.
That's
yeah.
crazy. It's crazy.
That's fucking.
Anyway,
The Dark Knight.
Dark Knight.
Yes.
I'm not wearing hockey pants. That fucking line gets him every time.
Dude, I saw that movie in theater, and this was before I worked at the movie theater. I saw that movie in theaters probably 4, maybe 5 times.
Yeah.
Like, I went multiple times
Yeah.
because just there was so much to see that you were not going to get it all on the first watch,
No.
and you don't.
No.
But just one of the best, if not the best, comic book movie of all time.
And
Yeah.
you know that it was fucking awesome because, like, when a movie undergoes like a major casting change for one of the big characters, a lot of times that doesn't work very well, and
No.
it takes people out of it. But like,
Not only did I kind of not notice, it was an improvement.
I think, I think
I'm
so, too.
sorry, but
Well-
nothing against Katie Holmes.
Yeah, but she smacked him in the first one, you know, and I'm like, hey,
Yeah, she was.
because he had a gun? Hey, come on, man. Get the fuck out of here. And she smacked him in the face, and I was like, no.
a couple of times, I think.
Yeah, I was like, no, I don't like that. Yeah, that movie rocked.
So-
God, it was good.
Definitely, I think without question better than Batman Return or Batman Begins.
I
Yeah.
think so too.
and then don't taking away anything from Batman Begins because it's an amazing movie too, not on the same level as The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
No, it's just like way slower. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, it's got a story to tell. It's like, hey, we got to do this. And you go, okay.
I think it rinsed Batman and Robin out of my mouth. The taste of that. So,
And I
Like,
thank you.
bat nipples.
And I thank you for that, dude. Thank
Chill
you.
out.
And then he said, hey, chill out. Ah!
Fuck you, asshole. But speaking something that I think The Dark Knight took advantage of, that our next sequel on the list is also took very good advantage of, is you don't need to do the origin story. The origin story's done. It's like now we can get into like what this person's life is like, and that's exactly what they did in Spider-Man 2
Ugh.
with Doc Ock. Sorry, I don't know why I did it that way.
Doc
Doc Ock.
I'm a scientist too. I'm somewhat of a scientist.
I'm somewhat of a scientist
oh
myself.
my god, dude! I don't know what it is about that movie that makes me feel like I'm on mushrooms or something. Like
It's Sam Raimi.
it's so weird, man.
It's a very Sam Raimi. All three of those, even Spider-Man 3, which arguably just not very good.
Yeah.
it's hard to three-peat.
It is.
I mean,
It's hard to pat trick.
God
Yeah.
damn it!
It's hard to
all that
Spidey.
work we did coming up with catchphrases and slogans and shit.
It's hard to cat trick. It's hard to spider trick.
But Sam Raimi, there's stuff like, have you ever seen Darkman?
Yeah.
That's a Sam Raimi movie.
Whoa.
And it's fucking crazy. Liam Neeson is like, it's basically he wanted to do a superhero movie, so he just kind of came up with one.
Okay.
And it's a Sam Raimi, very Sam Raimi style, so it's like very dark
It's
and kind
dark
of twisted,
as fuck.
but funny and weird, and just everything's just a little off.
That sounds right up my alley. So
Yeah,
I-
dude,
I-
it's
I would
not a
watch
bad
that.
movie.
Yeah.
It's not
No, it's not at all. So like the scene in particular in Spider-Man 2 where they're trying to remove the arms from Octavius, and they kind of take over and start attacking everybody and like killing them and shit. That's like straight out of fucking Evil Dead. Or Darkman, because like it's gonna not have context, so you need to go and check this out. But there's a whole scene where Liam Neeson flips the fuck out because he technically should have won this elephant at a carnival thing for his girlfriend, but the guy was an asshole about it and was like, no, he stepped over the line or something like that. And he flips the fuck out, and while the dude's like poking him in the chest, he grabs his hand and just breaks his finger back. And then it zooms over to, what the fuck is the girlfriend's name? She's Frances McDermott. It like pans over to her really quick, and she's just like, ah! And it zooms over to somebody else. They're like, ah! It's super fucking trippy and shit. But like that kind of stuff is like that scene. I'm watching it and I'm going, yeah, that's fucking Sam Raimi right there.
For sure.
But really, they didn't have to deal with the whole I got bit by a spider, I need to do this, blah, 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 learn how my powers work and shit. He's in the shit already. Matter of fact, gives it up for a while because his powers stop working. But then they just kind of come back.
Yeah.
They don't really explain why, but
because spiders run out of their web every once in a while when they're spinning a web.
In the winter, I believe that they go inside to a home. And they live there.
Not my home.
It has something to do with the thorax.
Yeah, the thorax.
Yeah, I remember that movie, the Dr. Seuss one.
Yeah. Ooh, they should do that.
The truffle trees, dude.
Next on our list of great sequels that possibly surpass the original. This one is it's a sequel and kind of a reboot at the same time. Mad Max Fury Road.
Ooh.
I have not seen this.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I'm not a Mad Max guy.
I didn't used to be because I'm not a car guy. That's my thing is I don't really give a shit about cars. Like if it gets me from A to B, that's really all I care about.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, I rode around in a 1980 poop brown Pontiac Bonneville and was just fine. But God, that throws me off. It's essentially it's two chase movie. It's two chases. The entire movie is a chase going away from the Citadel and then a chase coming back to the Citadel. Sounds boring as shit. Oh my God, is it not?
Especially if you add that it's in the sand.
Is
Dude.
this Charlize Theron's in it?
Yeah.
Charlize Theron?
Yeah, she plays Furiosa. And I will say, have you seen Furiosa?
I've not seen Furiosa.
I liked it. It's crazy, and Chris Hemsworth is fucking amazing in it just because he is batshit insane. But yeah, not bad at all. But Fury Road is better for sure. But essentially, seriously, the entire movie is them running away, stopping, taking a break, realizing that no one's guarding the place that they just came from, and then going back.
Oh.
Like as fast as they fucking can.
Okay.
And it's super fucking intense, but god damn, that's such a good movie.
I gotta see Fury Road.
Now, have you seen any of the Mad Max movies?
So I watched Mad Max on TNT when I was a little kid.
The original?
Yeah.
Like late at night.
The original's weird.
It's not a... I feel like it's one of the many movies that is remembered in a certain way, but then you watch it and you go, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Not what I signed up for at
It's
all.
looked at with rose-colored glasses.
For sure.
Man. And it's not terrible or anything, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
I mean, so because I would argue that another great sequel would be The Road Warrior, Mad Max 2, which that one is... When you think of Mad Max, that's the one you're thinking of. I guarantee you that. Because the original one, the whole place isn't like a fucking desert and shit yet. There's still trees. There's still grass. It's like the beginning of the apocalypse, essentially. Like, gas is running out. Martial law is starting to be declared. Gangs are just starting to fucking do whatever the hell they want.
That's right.
There's still a police force, because that's Max is on the police force. So you're probably, if you're thinking of the Mad Max desert, mutants, people dressed weird, all that crazy shit, you're probably thinking of the Road Warrior.
Right. That's got to be it. Yeah.
So, but I would argue that that's another one that is better than the original.
Yeah.
Now, maybe I might be in the minority here when it comes to like our listeners and watchers, which let us know in the comments. I think Fury Road is better than the Road Warrior. Like, out of all the Mad Max movies, Fury Road has been my favorite without question. And you absolutely need to fucking watch it.
Are you ready for the Fury Road that Mel Gibson's going to give us when he fucking finds out you're talking shit? Furiosa?
I was going to make some dumbass comment and be like, he won't yell at me. I'm not Jewish.
Isn't he like the Hollywood liaison now or whatever?
Yeah, he is.
Appointed.
He's a very powerful man.
Yes.
Very powerful man.
Not that he wasn't before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he was in his own mind.
Well, yeah, you ever seen Apocalypto?
Jesus Christ.
Dude, I would watch a sequel to that shit.
Yeah, that little baby jaguar in the tree. I was always like, God, I want one of those little things.
There's a YouTube channel that I watch called History Buffs, and it's a guy who compares like movies to how factually correct they are.
Oh, I'm
Probably
sure
had a
that one
field
got
day
it.
of-
Apocalypto, you can tell he's mad the
Oh,
whole
my
time.
God.
Like most of them, like Goodfellas is one that he does, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is actually they just changed a little bit around, but for the most part, Casino is another one that he does where he's like, yeah, these are fake characters, but he was actually based on this guy, and it's pretty fucking accurate."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he talks about Apocalypto, and he's like, "I swear to God." This is English guy too, so hearing him mad is kind of funny.
no.
It's like, oh, you're adorable.
So, since you're not a car guy, I guess we're not going to be talking Too Fast, Too Furious, are we?
No, we're not. Anyway,
That's fine. Moving on.
But you did see we all saw.
the only movie out of all of those that I can genuinely say I enjoyed and actually was like, not bad, and I don't even know why, was Fast 5. And I think that was the first one with The Rock, maybe? But it's the one where they're dragging a safe through like Rio de Janeiro or whatever. And it's like smashing it into fucking buildings and shit. And I was like, yeah, that's fine.
That's cool.
Why not? And then the next one, they're jumping from one tower to another. And
That's
I'm
the
like,
one I saw.
Jesus Christ. like, okay, apparently physics is not a thing in this world, but whatever.
No, it's not.
Moving on to one that I know would also be on Dan's list and maybe on your list too. We've talked about it before with the T-cart incident.
Oh.
Aliens.
I just want to say before we get any further into this one, I prefer the original over that one, but I recognize
Okay.
the impact, the cultural, like everybody. Aliens is the one that everybody goes to. So,
I'll
got it.
say I think you're probably in the minority, but not by much.
but I'll concede. But I'm just
Now, I would say that I'm one of those people that, and I genuinely do mean this. I don't know if it's true, but I absolutely hope that it's true. I like both of them the same for different reasons entirely, because they are two very different movies. You got like a gothic horror with Alien as opposed to like a sci-fi thriller with Aliens. But both nail them.
Yeah.
Fucking peak. So
that is because it is kind of like comparing apples to oranges.
it
For
is,
sure.
even though
Yeah.
it's literally the sequel to the same fucking
Yeah.
movie, it's not the same movie, and that was the whole point. Like I've watched countless interviews and behind the scenes shit on all of those movies, but Aliens in particular, and basically James Cameron's idea was, why would I want to do the same movie? Just changed a little bit. It's like, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do something like it's a different movie entirely. He wanted to do it. It was more like a war movie,
Yeah.
almost like a Vietnam.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
kind of
wanted
thing.
it to have like Vietnam feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just the fact alone, it's like you already got it. It's like you nailed it with that one. We don't need to mess with that. We're just gonna do something entirely different in the same universe and uses one of the same fucking characters.
Yeah.
And goddamn, is she used well?
It took me a little bit to, like, as a younger kid, like, watching them for the first time, it took me a little bit to understand Aliens. Like, I just couldn't get with it. But, like, Alien, I got it right away.
I mean-
like, it's, I got you.
It's kind of in your face about it.
Hey! Kind of hugs your face.
Oh,
so to
God.
speak.
And fucks your mouth.
Oh,
Wait,
God.
what are we talking about?
What
Hold
the
on.
hell kind of movie did you watch?
But no, I will say, like, it's culturally, though, that one overshadows Alien like a
For
motherfucker.
sure.
It does. Well, because I think, and not taking it away from, because I'm part of this community, but I think the gothic horror community is not nearly as large as the thriller action
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
So I think just with the kind of movies that they were doing, two, again, very different movies, they're just two completely different crowds. And one of them just so happens to be a lot larger. And it consists of like many different demographics of people, where it's like goth horror, that's kind of specific.
Yeah.
It's a little specific.
Yeah.
It just happened to do it very, very fucking
Man,
well.
fucking awesome. Really, like, it's one of the many movies that we have discussed where it's like, I can't. I don't have the heart to put one down. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather just list all the pros in both of them and be like, I like you both. Yay!
And can we just Can we just shout out Ellen Ripley really fast? Because like she lives her whole life, and then Alien happens. And then she goes to sleep, and then Aliens happens. And then she goes to sleep, and then Alien 3. Like this shit probably took like over the span of a week or two for her in like her like as far as her consciousness is concerned.
Yeah, and then she dies, and then she's fucking reborn or like cloned. So I don't know if maybe they might have fucking memories of hers. Who knows?
They got major PTSD. Like, they're unstable.
But no, what you were just saying, talking about like both pros, it just made me think of Kevin Nash in The Longest Yard. Come on, people! Both teams are trying very hard. Next on our journey of sequels, we're gonna stop by the old stop. I was doing a bit. We're gonna make a trip to Middle Earth, and we're gonna talk about the Two Towers.
Fuck.
Because that's another one that I honestly, out of the three, I think it's my favorite. I love Return of the King, but it had too many endings.
Yeah.
Now, granted, the book has too many endings, so they even kind of whittled it down because the book even has a couple more. Like they go back to the shower, to the shower. They go
our hairy feet.
back to the Shire, and Saruman has actually taken over the Shire, him and Wormtongue, and are basically running it into the ground. And like, there's like factories and shit there now. And then they got to go take on Saruman, and they kill him really easily. Or actually, Wormtongue kills him super easily. But the Two Towers, I mean, think about it. It introduced the world to Andy Serkis as Gollum/Smeagol, which that's perfect fucking casting. You had one of the best battle scenes ever, as far as I'm concerned. With Helm's Deep.
It's the one with the big. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The orcs versus everybody else.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like Uruk-hai too.
Uruk-hai.
Yeah. But it's one of those stories where you can't just watch it by itself, but you kind of could. I mean, you wouldn't get the closure, you wouldn't get the satisfaction of the ending, but you'd still get the story. You just wouldn't get the ending of it.
Fair enough.
So I mean, that's one that if I have to just pick a random, like if like pick a Lord of the Rings movie to watch forever, and you can't watch the other ones, mine would be Two Towers.
Right on. Is that the one where Boromir dies?
No, that's the first one.
That's
Fellowship of the Ring.
Sean Bean does not make it very far.
Nope.
Poor bastard.
I'm going to call him that from now on. I don't know why I've never thought of that before.
You know, when you learn a word, you read it before you hear it said.
Yeah.
That's kind of how that's.
Cian?
Sean.
Oh, fuck you.
Fucking break.
But
we don't have time. I
mean, okay.
I don't want to get into. I don't want to say what I want to say, and so I'm going to hold it in.
About Sean Bean?
No.
Oh, okay.
About Lord of the Rings. I'm not going to say it. We don't have enough time.
We have time because I want to hear this.
We have as much time as it takes to watch those three movies.
You could lump them all together, and I wouldn't give a fucking flying fuck. I don't know what happened and when. Every time I went to them. Every time I went to a fucking Lord of the Rings, first of all, I was with Dusty, and so he's fucking nerding out. I'm like, come on. I'm stoned. This is great. And then halfway through, you're like, I am not stoned anymore. and like, there's a battle going on, and
they need an intermission.
It's great.
An intermission.
And it's like muddy and scary, and like snot's coming out of people's mouth. They're going, Lord, I would be Dusty Tiger. And then the guy, Orlando Bloom, the girl that you brought with you, is like, oh my God. And you're like, fuck him. And then there's like the little fucking guys, the little hobbits, and you're like, those guys are cool. I'm pretty sure that dude is smoking weed. That's fucking awesome. Gandalf's badass. Why aren't they showing more of him? And then they got this other guy talking fucking shit. And then you're like, what's with the big eye thing? Now they're on the mountain. Wait, these guys are still fucking fighting? It just got, after a while, I was just like, I don't fucking know. And I didn't read the books growing up, and I just was like, dude, Dusty, can we go?
Okay, Dan, I want you to be honest with me. How easy can we replace him?
I mean, I think AI could probably do it.
Oh my god!
It would mess up his ear a little bit. He could never wear a beanie.
And like I laugh and go, way back. My head would go like, oh, that would be hilarious.
I just don't know if we could get the AI to yell into the microphone.
Hey!
We'd be like, no, seriously, be super rude. And it's like, I don't wanna. Nah, I'm just kidding. You can stay.
Yay!
For now. So that was most of my list.
Yeah.
I kind of we've got a little bit more time left. I wanted to get some of your guys' input of ones that you might want to throw in there because there's one more I can think of off the top of my head that I at least want to mention really quick, and that's just Hot Shots Part 2.
Oh, hey.
Because Hot Shots is fucking hilarious. Hot Shots Part 2 is so much funnier.
It took it to the next level.
So, yeah, that's just like a quick mention, but
it's not even close. I mean, it's close, but it's one of those, like, the game's never in doubt. You know what I'm saying? Like, Hot Shots, it's better. It's just better.
okay, I got you.
Dude, Beverly Hills Cop 2, I don't think gets... I think, like,
Okay.
Beverly Hills Cop 1 is kind of in the same vein as, like, 48 Hours. You know, it's like a funny movie, but it's kind of like a lot of gore. You know
Like,
what I mean?
a lot of people get shot.
A lot of
yeah.
people get shot. And, like, the 80s, they always had a thing with people's feet getting shot. And so, like, the thing would shoot their foot, and it would just, like, explode. You know, and you're like, ugh.
So it's in slow motion, so you can see the red really just...
Yeah. And you're like, what was that? But Beverly Hills Cop 2, I always thought, I really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, no, it's a good one.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
I still haven't seen the new one yet.
Dude,
Me either.
it's not that bad.
I say you told me that it was good.
It's like, if you're looking for a 1 or 2, don't watch it. But if you're looking for something that's better than the last one, like I think 3 is.
Isn't that the one where they were at the theme park?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. No,
If you're looking for
no.
something a little better than that, and not that bad, really not that bad, it's fun. It's fun. It's not going to win any awards. But.
It's No the Golden Child.
That
That movie's actually fucking awesome.
I love Last Dragon.
So, Beverly Hills Ninja 2, not Beverly Hills Ninja.
That would have been awesome.
That would have.
They didn't get a chance to make that one.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop 2,
Yeah,
yes.
pretty good.
Yeah, that's a damn
I like
good
it.
one. I like it. You got
like-
any on your
What
mind?
is the loose plot on that one?
So he goes back to L.A. This time, so the first one was Brigitte Nielsen, and the second one, is what's that guy's fucking name? He's like a art dealer, right? Isn't that no? That's the first one.
I say I'm pretty sure that's the first
That's
one.
the very first one. God damn it.
Because I can't remember. I think I've seen the first one, but I can't remember. I know I feel like I've seen 2 of them, but I can't remember. Like, it's one of those deals like where you just talk about Lord of the Rings, like where they kind of like blur together for me. I'm like, oh,
For
yeah.
sure, for sure. Number 2,
It's got Jürgen Prochnow as Maxwell Dent. It's the
they're the financial
I say
guys.
if I show him to you,
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
so
That
the,
guy.
the
Who's
first
I
one,
don't think I've seen that.
the
but-
first one had like an art gallery kind of thing
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on, and then Brigitte Nielsen was gunning people down, and then the second one was like these German like financial guys kind of thing, and Axel Foley just like I love like. When he just shows up to the bad guy's place, he's like, "Hey, how you doing?"
That's what that's for.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a Axel Foley like move.
Yeah.
Is to like, that's where the bad guys are. Let's go.
Yeah.
And then they're like, no, Axel, no, Axel. And he just walks in, and they're like, "Excuse me, please escort Mr. Foley from the president." Like that
wow.
guy.
isn't part 2 is the one where they have like it's like the alphabet murders or the alphabet crimes or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Because they're leaving them on the bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, it took me the longest fucking time to realize that those were Tony Scott movies. And I'm like, yeah, makes sense. I fucking love Tony Scott.
If
I'm
I can't
sorry,
remember
but
1 or 2, though, maybe I should retract my statement and say Moana 2. No.
Let's go back to Beverly Hills Ninja 2.
But my one that I was gonna throw in there is kind of related to Beverly Hills Cop 2, but Rush Hour 2. I think is superior to the first one.
I would agree.
As much as I love the first one.
Which one y'all kick me?
I think, honestly, one of the biggest appeals of Rush Hour 2, for me at least, is just the fact that it's more worldwide.
Yeah.
It's like kind of a globe-trotting type thing instead of just like contained to is L.A.? Is that where it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas this one's like they're going to China and they're going, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's go ahead.
No, I like the amount of, because like sometimes sequels fall into this trap where they do way too many fucking callbacks to the first movie. But I like that they really only did it a few times in Rush Hour 2, like with the "Don't ever touch a Chinese man" CD, and
do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
That's okay. So Rush Hour 1, is that the one where the little girl gets kidnapped?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the like the Chinese consulate guy's daughter gets kidnapped. And number 2, it's just about like money, right?
Pretty much, yeah. It's like the leader of the triads.
Yeah.
Who killed Jackie Chan's dad.
Oh,
yeah. He's like got a big operation with an American criminal where they open the casino together, but they're using like
the casino.
They're using counterfeit. They got like legit printing presses to make counterfeit money.
That's right.
Now, remind me, is it the first or the second one where he gets the bomb taped in his mouth?
That's the second one.
Okay, then yeah, for sure the second one's better.
Dude, second one.
Like,
the second one it's like the stunts are better. Like the gag reel at the end I think is better.
Dude, for sure.
I love it when movies include those.
Yeah.
I just not even like special bonus feature. No, put it at the fucking credits.
Yeah, dude, come on.
I love
no
that
one's
shit.
watching them anyway, so here we go.
Right.
I think it's hard to describe to people though how popular that series of movies was. Like Rush Hour 1 and 2, they had to have made $1 billion.
Yeah.
I mean, they were everywhere.
Yeah.
You know.
What is it too with like a lot of these movies that we've brought up, like Aliens, Dark Knight, Rush Hour 2, like a lot of them that have like a third movie that followed, but the third one just kind of
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, baby.
Spider-Man.
It's
There's another
tough.
one. we
yeah,
did.
Spider-Man. Yes, okay, yeah.
It's tough to keep that momentum.
Now,
It is.
I will say, because that's not always the case, but like they even make a joke out of it in X-Men Apocalypse about how like, the third movie always sucks because it was the third movie in their new little franchise. That
Okay.
It was Days of Future Past, or it was technically First Class, and then Days of Future Past, and now this one. And that one ended up not being that good. I mean, so it's like, you're making fun of yourself, but it actually ended up happening.
You
So
actually are not good. Yeah. I
Ugh.
remember being excited for that one because I was like, oh, I like Oscar Isaac. This will be cool.
And Oscar
then I
Isaac
just-
as Apocalypse sounds like a good idea, and then
Yeah.
you see it, and you're like, oh god.
Yeah.
They
And you're
did,
like, oh, this is the third one too.
they did not do him justice.
See, that's why it's better when they announce somebody like Heath Ledger as Joker, and everybody's like, I don't know if I like this idea.
If you get excited,
now you have
get
no
scared.
expectations.
Yeah.
Any more sequels that you guys can think of that you want to add on to my list here? Because I can think of at least one more that we need to talk about.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Toy Story 3.
Ooh, okay.
Not 2.
Okay.
As much as I love 2, because 2 is better than 1, 3 is better than 2. 3 almost made me cry.
I have not seen any of the other ones other than the first one.
What happened
will-
to you? Who hurt you?
I think for a while there, I just thought I was above pop culture for some reason, and now I really regret that.
You're not as cool as the rest of us.
Dude, maybe that's the first, well, at least the first we've mentioned, third of that actually
that fucking brought it home. And honestly, they should have stopped at 3. 4 is okay. I don't believe that they're doing a 5. They are, but I don't know why. But they should have stopped at 3. It was the perfect fucking ending. Basically, Andy's grown up and he's going off to college, and long story short, he ends up eventually at the end giving his toys away to like this little girl who starts playing with them again, and they're being played with, and they're, like, Woody's sad to see Andy go, but he's going off to, be his own man and all that. It's a perfect fucking ending. And then they just kept going.
Ah.
And it's like, God damn it, guys.
And then they made the Lightyear spinoff.
Which that cartoon? Have you ever seen?
The cartoon was
It's
awesome.
Fucking
The little robot guy
oh my god,
was fucking awesome.
dude. The Buzz Lightyear the cartoon, it goes hard, man. It's fucking good.
So
Nice.
the big giant red alien guy is actually voiced by a dude who was in Animal House. The chubby guy who always wears kind of I think he wears like those little spinny cap things.
Yeah, is it Flipper?
I can't. I think I think that was his name.
Yeah.
But yeah, the dude
Or Flounder.
Flounder. That's what it is. Yeah, because
Yeah.
he's one of the new recruits.
yeah.
But he ends up being the voice of this weird alien guy in the SpongeBob Space or SpongeBob. Goddamn. Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Academy or something like that, or maybe just Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger. But yeah, that show was fucking
That
awesome.
show was
Nice.
funny. Yeah.
But the movie,
I never seen the movie.
it was okay. It was, I don't know. It was just kind of weird. It was
Yeah.
weird seeing like a realistic looking Buzz Lightyear,
Yeah.
even though it's still
imagine.
like animated and
Yeah.
stup. But he was supposed to look real, and it's like
Yeah.
this is just weird.
Yeah.
Was that did they have to do that so they could fire Tim Allen?
I think they did that so they could keep the rights to make the toys, but not have to pay him
We're
anymore.
gonna distance ourselves from this guy.
Say, well, we already got this guy under contract for Captain America, so we can just use his voice and program him into the dolls now.
Oh, that shit. That like, Toy Story when they bring him into the mix. He's that shit's so funny. Oh, I want to watch that movie right now, man. God dang.
I'm sure your girls would love that.
Well, okay, so that's a little bit over our heads, like that kind of stuff. Like we're into it for 20 seconds, you know, and then it's like, I want to watch Paw Patrol. Like Paw Patrol and Bluey and Peppa are like, that's where we're at. I try to
so
pop
sorry.
in. I know. I try to
Except
pop
for
in-
Bluey. Bluey's awesome.
I try to do other stuff like Toy Story, and they're into it for 3 seconds. But then, like the little like alien guys, you know, like they
The
love.
claw.
Oh, they fucking love those guys. So I'm like, damn it, no, not that. It's Buzz Lightyear. He's funny, and they're like, no,
I don't give a shit.
no, old man, shut
He's a
it.
sad, strange little man.
Story of my life. So that's all I got for sequels.
Sandlot 2.
Still waiting.
Hey, yeah, still waiting. Oh, I know what. Halloween 2.
You motherfucker.
That was so good that I think that we could have a sequel to this episode.
Ooh wee, and maybe we could go through like the movies that we hadn't seen. We'll watch them and then be like, oh, okay, Dusty. Well, guess what? You and your fancy shirt. I have an opinion now.
Do you think it would be better than the first episode, though?
There's not a fucking
don't- I
chance.
don't-
I know the third won't be as good. That's
Nope.
for fucking
The
sure.
third is all just reserved for us telling you to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and go to motherfucking gettinsidetracked.com.